So hi everybody at BeatIt. I'm talking into a phone because it's really, really loud today. We're after the show, and so there was no time to do a rig rundown before, unfortunately, so this is going to have to do. The drums are almost identical. It's the same drum set as it was 5 years ago, last time I was featured on BeatIt. The only thing that's really new is the Starphonic Brass 14x6. It's a little bit more even tempered than the S.L.P black brass, which we kind of felt was a little bit too loud. Wasn't really working in every room. This is much more balanced, so it's working out really nicely, but it's still got that aggressive sound, that feeling that you want from a metal band. So it works great. The cymbals have changed over slightly. So now where there was a 16, there's now a 20-inch china. The crashes are still 16 and 18 on the front here, but they're now Byzance Brilliant instead of, I think, Byzance Traditional is what I had back then. That's a dark 8 splash. It used to be I used to be something else, but also an 8 splash, also Byzance. And that's still a brilliant splash. That's the same splash that I've always had since the beginning. You can tell. It's the MB20. The ride's got a little bigger. So 22, Byzance Heavy Hammered. I was a little bit worried that it would be too loud, but actually, again, it's very balanced and it's working really well generally. Classics Custom Dark is the main right-hand china. I don't remember what I had before. I've been using this for a long time now because it's really durable and it just works. It almost never breaks and it still sounds okay. So, and they are reasonably inexpensive, so that's always a very good thing. Generally, this whole range is what I use on smaller shows and in my practice room because they're really cheap and they still sound killer. So it's a good hack for drummers looking for good cheap cymbals. This is the same 18-inch Byzance Vintage. It's kind of similar sounding to the china, but not quite as loud, so it gives a nice balance between these two. Something trashy, but not overpowering. So it's a bit washy, which is great for riding on the crash. You get something that's present, but not killing the mix. I'm still using the iron Cobras. They're not the same ones as last time. They've been changed over a few times, but the only thing that's really changed with the iron Cobras now is that I use the heavier springs, which I still break constantly. As for the viewers, well, this is my old Star Classic. Well, not old. My first Tama Star Classic Performer Birch Babinga. Are not on sale anymore as of this year. So we've got an 8 over here, 10, 12, 14, 16, and 2 22-inch kicks. Skins, we're using Remo Emperors always, sometimes coated, but I prefer clear for live shows because the coating wears out quite quickly and then you have to replace them more regularly. But clear Emperors on top and clear diplomats on bottom. Something slightly thinner. Again, just sounds killer. Doesn't need too much tuning. Lots of tone. Not too much sustain. Medium sustain. Because I'm not one of those drummers that likes everything too dead. It needs to still project and have a tone and sound. Normally it's Ambassador. It's like today, it's Ambassador. But failing that, we'll also do, if it's a longer tour, or if it's if I'm going to places where Remo aren't necessarily available, then I'll take the Power Stroke 77, the new one, the triple ply one, because it behaves reasonably similar, but it's very, very durable. It's a fantastically useful head.
Is it P3s or?
Yeah, Power Stroke 3s and P3 resonance. Actually, no, it's normally P3 resonance, but today it's coated clear Ambassadors. But with the sticker on, we've got the Vader sticker on the front head. That basically behaves more like a P3 anyway, because it's basically just a little bit thicker. Sticks Vincent 5B. Very, very standard. I like to use as much standard equipment as possible, because then I can find it all over the world and it's not a problem.
Makes sense.
As for dampening in the kick drums, there's virtually none, just those two, just one in each, one Evans pillow in each one, and that's it. So they're very, very loud. Throne is a Tama. It's one of the new ones, but it's the old...
First chair?
Yeah. Just classic, round top, nothing fancy. It's very solid, which I like. It's good for the back. I don't like the drum seats where you sink and you sit down. Electronics-wise, we've got the Roland TM2, the classic, which is down there. And we have a really cool gadget now for running the backing tracks and the click tracks, which is the Cymatic, which you can see has 16 outputs, of which we're only using 3. But it's very, very useful piece of equipment. It runs all off a USB, super intuitive, super easy to use, and actually quite cheap. It's about €300. Even bands like Behemoth are running on this now, so it's a really, really solid and dependable piece of equipment. And that's it. It's all basically the same.